In lesson 1, we talked about writing and graphing inequalities, and now we're going to be solving one-step inequalities. That means that there's one operation in each inequality. You're going to notice it's the same as solving one-step equations. You will start by drawing the line at the inequality sign. So we're going to draw the line at the inequality sign. Then we would find the variable, look for what numbers by the variable to cancel out, and then decide what's the operation and what's the opposite that will cancel it out. So if I look at example 1, I have x minus 5.7 is less than negative 3.4. So I draw my line at my inequality sign. I find my variable x. This is a negative 5.7 or a minus 5.7. So I'll use a positive 5.7 or add 5.7 to both sides. So I add 5.7 to both sides. It z's out over here, just like with equations. I bring down my x, I bring down my inequality sign, and then you can use the calculator for this part, negative 3.4 plus 5.7, and we will get 2.3. So x is less than 2.3. Now we're ready to graph it. So on your number line, remember you don't have to number every number, just put the one that is your number, and then you can put what's before it and what's after it. I did not give you very much space here. So if 2.3 is right here, then I would go by third. So that is about 1/3, 1, 2, 3. So I can put the 3 here, and 2 is approximately here. So 2.3 is about where it is on the number line. So it's an open circle because there's no line. So I put an open circle. And I noticed that the 2.3 is being eaten. So that means x is smaller, and smaller goes to the left. Then our question says, is 1.5 a solution to this inequality? When you graph inequalities, it makes it easy to figure that out because 1.5, well, 1.5 is going to be smaller than positive 2. So that would be a yes, because it is in our section of the inequalities. If it was over here, it'd be no. Now we're going to talk about example 2. I have negative 1/2 is greater than 1/4 z. Remember, I recommend anytime that you have the coefficient like this, that you remember that that is a multiplication in between the number and the variable. So do put your dot in there. Draw your line at the equal sign. Find your variable, which was z. Decide how to cancel it out. That is multiplied by 1/4. So I'm going to divide both sides by 1/4. So on this side, 1/4 divided by 1/4 turns into a 1. So I bring down my z because I don't have to put 1z. I bring down my greater than symbol, and then negative 1/2 divided by 1/4. You can use your calculator for that, or you can work it out if you want to. We will get negative 2. So negative 2 is greater than z. So when I go to graph it, I can put my negative 2 here. So that means negative 1 is here and negative 3 is here. So if that's negative 2 and negative 2 is greater than z, it's an open circle because there's no line under it. The negative 2 is bigger, so z is smaller, so that means it's going to go to the left again. And my question says, is 0 a solution to this inequality? Well, 0 would be right here, and 0 is not in our inequality section that we graphed, so that would be a no. 0 would not be a correct solution. Now we're looking at example 3. Y plus 1/5 is greater than negative 7. So I draw my line at my inequality symbol. I find my variable as y. I find the number to cancel out, which is a positive 1/5 or plus 1/5. So I use a negative 1/5 or minus 1/5 to cancel it out. And then I do the same thing to both sides. So on this side, it gets a z, turns into a 0, and it z's out. So I get y, bring down my inequality symbol, and negative 7 and negative 1/5, they would get along, not fight. So we'll get negative 7 and 1/5. So when I go to graph it, I could just put like negative 7 is right there, negative 8 is right there. So negative 7 and 1/5 is going to be in the middle. closer to the -7. That's an open circle because there's no line under it. Y is bigger, so since Y is being eaten, Y is bigger, it's going to go to the right. So it's an open circle going to the right, starting at -7 1/5. Our question says, is -2 a solution to this inequality? Well, if -8 is here, I just realized I made a horrible mistake. I always make mistakes. It's like I'm so nervous filming the videos, I mess up. So this is -7 and this is -8 because -7 is bigger than -8 when you're on the negative side. But back to -2. So 0, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, -2 is going to be right here. So 0 will be right here. So -2. Is -2 a solution? No, but or yes, it is because it is on our inequality where the inequality is graphed. So that's a yes. And then the last one. B divided by 3.8 is less than or equal to 1.7. So I draw my inequality symbol. I find my variable, which is B. I find what I'm doing, that's divide by 3.8. So I'm going to multiply to cancel out division. So I multiply both sides by 3.8. Remember that turns into a 1, so we get B. Bring down the inequality symbol. And then 1.7 times 3.8, we're going to get 6.46. 6.46. I'm just double checking. Yep, 6.46. So on my graph, I could have 6 be right here. I can have 7. I'm going to go ahead and go a little bit further. So 6, 7. So 6.46 is about halfway between 6 and 7. And it is a closed circle this time because we have the line underneath it. And B is less than, so B is not being eaten. The number is being eaten, so B has to be smaller. And our question says, is -1.4 a solution to this inequality? Well, all the negatives are going to be on this side, since this is a +7 and 0 will be over here. So yes, since our answer is a positive number and everything has to be smaller than that, and negatives are always smaller. So that is a solution to this inequality.